All right, let's talk about the NCLEX. If you're getting ready for it, you know that feeling, that pressure is real. But what if I told you the secret to passing isn't about stressing out and cramming? What if it's about having a solid plan, like an architectural blueprint? Today, we're going to get into exactly that, how to build your success one strategic step at a time.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. We always think of the NCLEX as this giant, scary test. But what if we just changed how we look at it? What if we see it as a game? You know, a game has rules, it has patterns, and there's always a clear way to win. And once you know the rules, you can build a strategy that totally dominates it.
This quote, this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about. Look, this is so much bigger than just passing one exam. It's about laying the foundation for your entire nursing career. Seriously, the work you're putting in right now is that deep, stable base that's going to support everything you build for years to come.
Okay, so where do we start? Phase 1, decoding the exam. Just like any game, you can't win if you don't know the rules. You've got to understand how the board is set up and how all the pieces move.
So rule number 1 you absolutely have to master is CAT, which stands for Computerized Adaptive Testing. This is what makes the NCLEX feel so different. It's not a static one-size-fits-all test. It's actually having a conversation with you. When you're crushing it, the questions get harder. If you start to struggle, they get a little easier. It's all designed to find your exact level of competence.
And that's the key difference right here. You're used to regular exams, right? Where you just need to get, say, a 75% to pass. The NCLEX, it doesn't work like that at all. It's not about getting a certain score. It's about proving you can consistently perform above a minimum safety standard. Your only goal is to stay above that passing line. That's it.
And here's the good news. For all this complexity, the NCLEX is not random. Not even a little bit. It is meticulously built from an official blueprint, the NCSBN test plan. And what that means for you is that the content is predictable. You know exactly what categories are going to be on there, which means you can prepare for them systematically. No surprises.
Okay, so now you know the rules of the game. It's time for Phase 2, the consistency blueprint. See, knowing how to play is one thing, but building that skyscraper foundation, well, that happens brick by brick, day after day.
Here is your first non-negotiable number, 2. That means 2 hours of high-quality, focused study time every single day. This is not about cramming for 10 hours on a weekend, no way. It's about the incredible power of consistent daily effort. That's how you build deep understanding and long-term memory. Your second key number, 4,000. That is your target. You want to get through at least 4,000 practice questions before you walk into that testing center. Now, why so many? It's not just about knowledge. It's about building your mental stamina, your endurance, and exposing your brain to every possible way a concept can be tested.
And the last number for this section is a big one, 0. 0 distractions. I mean it. When you're in those 2 hours of study time, the phone is off and out of sight. The TV is off. No music. You have to simulate real testing conditions. You are training your brain to focus like a laser even under pressure.
And here's a cool little brain hack for you. It's super simple but incredibly powerful. At the very end of the day, right before you go to sleep, just take a few minutes to review the 1 or 2 things that gave you the most trouble that day. Then, while you sleep, your brain goes to work, taking that shaky information and cementing it into your long-term memory.
Okay, you've got the rules and you've got a consistent plan. Now we got to make it personal. A generic blueprint isn't going to cut it because everyone is starting from a different spot. You need to draw your own unique roadmap.
And here's a simple 4-step way to do it. First, you've got to be honest with yourself. Look back at your grades and find your patterns of strengths and weaknesses. Second, take a diagnostic test to get some real, hard data on where you are right now. Third, analyze those results, and not the overall score. Map your performance to the official NCLEX categories. And finally, prioritize. You're going to attack your weakest areas first.
This is what that analysis looks like. See? The test isn't just one giant score. It's broken down into these client needs categories. Realizing you're weak in, say, safety and infection control is way more helpful than just knowing you got a 65%, right? It gives you a clear, specific target for where to spend your precious study time.
And every single time you review a practice test, you have to ask yourself this one crucial question. Did I get this wrong because I didn't know the information, a knowledge gap? Or did I get it wrong because of a test-taking mistake? One of those needs content review. The other needs strategy practice. You have to know which problem you're actually trying to solve. Which brings us to our final section, and honestly, this might be the most important one. You can have the best blueprint in the world, but you still have to win the battle that's happening between your ears. It's time to architect your confidence.
Let me be crystal clear about this. This is not just some feel-good, motivational fluff. Research actually shows that self-efficacy, your genuine core belief that you are capable of passing this thing, is one of the biggest statistical predictors of who actually passes the NCLEX. Building that belief is a non-negotiable part of your prep.
So how do you build that confidence? A really powerful way is to adopt what I call the clinical detective mindset. You have to stop trying to just memorize thousands of disconnected facts. Instead, you train your brain to see the connections, to see how lab values and symptoms and patient history are all just clues that point to the larger story. This right here is the mental shift from being a student to becoming a nurse.
So I'm going to leave you with this. The next time you sit down to study, I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you just grinding through a bunch of questions for some test, or are you meticulously, thoughtfully, and strategically laying the foundation for the incredible career you're about to build? The choice is all yours.